I never imagined a simple Friday night would turn into a test of everything I believed about my marriage. Emma had invited a few friends over for what she called a small hangout. Nothing major, nothing wild. I was drained from work and honestly just wanted to unwind, but I agreed to stay. It was still our home, and I wanted to be part of her evening, even if it meant just sitting off to the side. The place filled with laughter, clinking glasses, and bits of music drifting out from the living room. I settled onto the sofa with a beer in hand, trying to fade into the background hum of conversation. That's when I caught it, the way Emma drifted closer to her guy friend, Jake. They cracked up at the same joke, leaned toward each other, their faces inching way too close for comfort. I told myself to chill, convinced I was probably reading too much into it. Then everything snapped. She kissed him. And not some quick, harmless tap. It lingered, long enough to feel like a punch to the gut. Someone nearby filmed it for a TikTok challenge she apparently thought would be hilarious. My stomach dropped. My jaw locked for a moment. The whole room seemed to freeze. The friends filming laughed, thinking it was part of the bit, but I knew exactly what it meant. I tried to speak, but my voice completely died in my throat. Emma spun around, grinning wide, eyes full of mischief, either oblivious or pretending not to see the fire she'd just lit inside me. "Relax," she said with a wave. "It's just a joke. Don't be so sensitive." I blinked at her, mind racing. A joke? My wife, my partner, kissed another man and brushed it off as a joke. The worst part wasn't even the kiss. It was the shrug, the casual dismissal, the message behind it. That tiny joke felt like a blade. I stood slowly and set my beer down. A part of me wanted to explode, to shout, to demand she show some respect. But something inside me held back. The years of learning to steady myself kept me grounded. I needed to think before reacting. Not out of weakness, but because reacting in anger would only make things worse. Emma noticed the shift in me and tilted her head. "What's wrong?" she asked, still trying to sound playful, though I could hear a thread of confusion weaving into her voice. I drew in a slow breath, choosing my words carefully, letting the weight hang between us. "Wrong," I echoed quietly. "Emma, do you realize what you just did? That wasn't a joke. You crossed a line we both agreed belonged to us alone." Her smile dimmed. The room that once buzzed with jokes and lightness suddenly felt tighter, like the walls were listening. Her friends glanced between us, unsure now, picking up on the seriousness she had brushed off so easily. Emma's eyes grew wide. She opened her mouth to play it down again, but I cut her off before the words could form. "Don't try to spin it, Emma. Jokes don't hurt people. What you did, kissing him like that in front of everyone, that's not funny. It's disrespect." Her friends went silent. The laughter that filled the room earlier just evaporated, replaced by a thick, uneasy stillness. Emma lifted a hand to her mouth, a nervous habit I didn't see often. "It was just for TikTok. Everyone does those silly challenges," she stammered. I shook my head slowly. "This isn't about a challenge. It's about trust, boundaries, and the fact that we promised each other certain lines weren't meant to be crossed, not even for fun." My voice stayed calm, steady, intentional. I didn't raise it. I didn't need to. Each word cut cleanly through the excuses she tried to stand on. Her friends exchanged uncomfortable looks, realizing my reaction wasn't what they expected. They figured I'd laugh it off or play along, but the firmness in my calmness caught them off guard. They weren't silent out of fear. They were silent because they recognized the weight of what I was saying. Emma swallowed hard, the playful mask falling away. "You're overreacting," she whispered, trying to claw back some control. I leaned just slightly toward her, eyes locked on hers. "No, I'm not. You don't get to call this overreacting. You turned something private into entertainment, and now you're facing the fallout. We can joke about plenty of things, but this isn't harmless." She trembled a bit, eyes darting around, hoping her friends would step in, but the space now belonged to the truth I laid out calmly and clearly. I let the silence stretch, letting the reality settle around her. Silence can be louder than shouting, and right then, it said everything. Eventually, She exhaled sharply and leaned back in her seat, shoulders dropping, her bravado gone. I didn't mean to hurt you, she murmured. I thought it would be funny. I let her words sit there for a second. Funny for who, Emma? Because it wasn't funny for me. And that matters. Your amusement doesn't erase the disrespect. Or the betrayal. Do you understand that? Her head dipped. The only sound in the room was the faint hum of the fridge. For the first time, she wasn't defending herself. She wasn't dodging the point. She was hearing it, really hearing it. No one spoke. The air hung heavy, almost demanding honesty. I finally broke the silence, my tone low, firm, but not cold. Emma, I love you. But love doesn't give you permission to ignore boundaries or treat our relationship like a punchline. Jokes have consequences too. And this one went too far. She looked up, eyes glistening, lips trembling as her defenses fell apart. I thought it was harmless, she whispered. Harmless, I repeated. It wasn't harmless to me. And it wouldn't be harmless if I trusted another woman the way you trusted that moment. It's not about intent. It's about what your actions say. Tonight, they said you didn't care about the boundary that protects us. That's the issue. Her eyes widened, vulnerability washing over her. She finally understood, not just what she did, but how it landed. The look in her eyes told me she knew this moment mattered. I softened just a little. I'm not here to punish you, Emma. I need you to understand what this meant. If we don't face this honestly, it's going to rot underneath everything. She nodded, hands twisting nervously. Yes, she murmured. I get it. I didn't think about it that way. I thought it was just a silly video. I didn't think about how you'd feel. I reached across the table and rested my hand over hers. Then remember this moment, I said quietly. Remember that love isn't just laughter and fun. It's respect. It's trust. And it's being aware of how your choices affect the person standing beside you. Her shoulders sagged even more, surrender mixing with reflection. She squeezed my hand, a small promise that she truly understood and would do better. That night, we stepped out of the room together, not as enemies, but as two people facing a truth most couples run from. Her joke cracked the surface, but our calm, honest conversation sealed it stronger than before. I realized then that love doesn't always roar. Sometimes it speaks softly, with clarity, patience, and honesty, guiding the people you care about toward change.